I think one of the things that you might have a unique perspective on is what about these derived products that you might train a model from and create these weights in a large language model that model is yours, but the data it was trained on might not have been, or you might not have had a license in order to create a derivative product on top of. And people talk about that when it comes to Copilot within any of like development process. Do you have the rights of these derivative products? But the same thing can be true with a model trained on financial data that you're licensing from somebody else. So how do you think about it in terms of what rights you have in order to create a derivative trained model off of financial data?
Yeah, so when you engage with the vendors that own the data that's going into the models, they usually have licensing in certain parameters. So more sophisticated vendors might have licensing based on the type of use case, or using this to redistribute information to your investors, are using this for humans and putting it on a screen, or using it in applications or quant trading. So those licensing concepts aren't new. This is, ChatGPT and a machine learning model would be an application type usage of that information. So as long as you're able to do that and have it covered in the license, it's something that vendors are generally comfortable with, other than the hype behind ChatGPT right now. What you do with it after that, however, in the derivative work, sometimes there's probably some complications in it that may hit how you use the data afterwards. So if it's into quant trading and you're executing trades on it, systematically, no humans in the middle of it, then those types of license are fairly contained. If you turn around and put that work into a screen and have humans, let's say you've got 100 analysts in your shop that are now looking at that derivative content, you might have to have some additional licensing for that, so display rights on the derivative products. But generally speaking, the vendors are pretty clear about those. If you're upfront with your vendor from the start on what you intend to do with it, both in the case of what you might initially try with it, the experimentation, research and development, and then as you move it into production and then production with viewers, negotiate those deals appropriately so that as you scale up and discover more use cases, that you got the flexibility in the contract and don't violate the terms of it.
Hedgeneer.